Hello and welcome to my paranormal channel. Sorry for that. Right now I'm in my spare room and it's now considered my filming room for my cosplays and paranormal. As you can tell, I am deciding to actually read Bigfoot, True Life Encounters with the Legendary Sasquatch, or the Encyclopedia of the Paranormal. An exploration of the unknown forces that affect our world. My cat's with me because she hasn't been in here since I got her. And I had the door closed to this specific room because I was kind of like living in it while my mom was in her room sleeping in one. So my room was kind of like this spare room was a safe haven, but the master bedroom is not my uh, safe haven. So most of my cleaning stuff is in here, but hey, I'm gonna at least try to get a new lamp and whatnot. I have so many stuff going on in my mind, and I can't even stop. Okay, I'll probably like read a little bit of. Mhm. Sorry if you see me going. Okay, let's do. I'm just looking through the like encyclopedia. I think I don't know. You know what? We always talk about the Salem witch trials and how it's like, oh, this many people have died. But you forgot there is a fucking curse on Salem and the sheriff that works in Salem. Because if you haven't noticed, the curse is real. It was made by a man's dying breath that he was accused of witchcraft. Okay. 13. Okay. Salem witch trials. Sorry if you see me like lean a bit. It's because I'll be like doing this because the book, and I'm doing the Salem witch trials for you. Oh yeah. It all began as child's play. Horror movie, child's play. Check it. Sorry, I was supposed to go out of frame, but you know, just imagine me going out of the frame. It's always funny. The young people of Salem, considered by overbearing Puritans, were awed to hear vivid stories woven by Tituba, a Caribbean slave brought to the community from the West Indies. The tribal ritual and magic recounted by Tituba must have seen a world away from the existence of grinding toil led by Salem West. And get this happened in 1692 to 1693. Yeah, probably after the Mayflower landed. But when 9-year-old Betty Paris fell ill and could not be cured by orthodox methods, the doctor said she was bewitched. The affliction quickly spread to her friends, who writhed and grind and utterly fed. If I can't spell out a word, I'll say blah blah. So you know it's like a hard word because reasons. Accusations against adults. The children's imagination was fired not only by the tales told by Tituba, but also by the words of self-appointed Satan expert Cotton Mather, author of a recently published tome relating to the systems of witchcraft. Furthermore, they had been experiencing with fortune telling, and they knew their curiosity had led them into forbidden realms. The guilty children believed themselves to be bitten and pinched by devilish creatures or specters, and were seeing witches flying through the air. That's my cat. You can see my kitty. They say hi. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Tituba was swiftly arrested and faced the accusation of witchcraft. Two other women were also hauled in before the authorities. One was Sarah Good, a pipe-smoking beggar, and the other, Sarah Osborne, a widow known to hold the church in contempt. Matters might have died down following their confinement, but for the admission by Tituba, implicating the other two women, of contact with Satan himself. When the children accusers were brought into their company, the children fell into fits, proof, if any were needed, that these women were indeed witches. Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne were all arrested first. Tituba literally confessed in a horse by one of the jailers, basically. So, now you know. Now, the Salem village dignitaries led a witch hunt, convinced that devil's agents were lurking in their midst. The first witch to be hung was Bridget Bishop. Remember, one down, more to go. That's what the people of Salem thought. One witch down, 3 jailed, and there she goes. There goes the witch. Even though she wasn't a witch. In her late 50s, a tavern owner of dubious reputation, a field hand claimed to have seen Bridget's image stealing eggs and then transforming into a cat to run off with her plunder. Another villager said she visited him at night in specter form to torment him. Yet another maintained that she was responsible for numerous examples of bad luck in the community. A short expert from the trial of Bridget reveals how pointless it was for supposed witches to try and prove their innocence. When she was accused of being a witch, the luckless woman said, "I know nothing of it, and I know not what a witch is." Ugh, let me redo that for you. Hi, English voice. Hi, Sarah. Sorry, Winifred. I know nothing of it. I know not what a witch is. Tell me down in the comments below if I actually did a good job. Sounding like almost like Winifred from Hocus Pocus. How do you know then that you are not a witch? Was the response of the prosecutor. Her continuing protests were deemed unfavorable of the law back then in the basically late 1600s, where America was still under the fucking rule of England. or Queen of England. Following her trial, she was taken to Gallows Hill on June 10th, 1962, and was hung. The plight of the witch hunt's victims was heart-wrenching. 4-year-old Turkish Good was arrested after Salem children claimed to have been attacked by her specter. She spent months in jail in chains, weeping continually, and then watched her mother Sarah being carried off to the gallows. A little tangent. If you kill a parent that is taking care, if it's a single parent or both parents, and one of the parents is in jail, and then your child gets into jail, who's like, what? 4? Under the age of 10? Who does something so fucking sick to a 4-year-old? Especially jailing them. Where's her dad? Huh? She was accused, just like her mother was accused. It's like those who are literally trying to get those witches killed was also the reason why they jailed a fucking 4-year-old. Those children who were, being tormented were above the age of 10. Come on! And also Sarah is the second to be hung in Salem. Rebecca Nurse, a churchgoer and a pillar in the community, was found not guilty at her trial. Judge William Sutton was so irate at this decision that he sent the jury back to reconsider. They returned with a guilty verdict. On appeal, when they say, "Oh, you're not guilty," the judge is like, "What the fuck?" You go back and you reconsider. They did, came back with a guilty verdict, and the pillar of the community is sent off to be hung. On appeal, the state governor pardoned her, but Salem men compelled him to reverse the decision. Eventually, Rebecca was excommunicated from the church and sent to hang. Deputy Constable John Willard was brought before the court after he refused to make further arrests. His fate was the same as the convicted witches. Okay, so Rebecca is the third, and John Willard is the fourth. So that's 4 witches. But here's the thing. You'll hear more. His fate was the same as the convicted witches. Another tavern owner, John Defense, he asked for the trial to be moved to Boston. His request was denied and he was hung, although his pregnant wife was spared the noose. Former Minister Reverend George Barrows, it was decided to let young girls into witchcraft. Before he was hung, he recited the Lord's Prayer, a feat supposedly impossible for a witch, and once again maintained his innocence. When the crowd hesitated, Cotton Mather himself stepped forward to remind them of the court's authorities, who, in their right goddamn mind, think, "Oh," like everyone in the crowd, hearing him literally recite the Lord's Prayer. And somehow gets hung after Cotton Mathers stepped forward to remind of the court's authority. That guy's on a fucking power trip. Think about it. You're in Salem in the late 1600s, and you're experiencing the fucking witch trials. You see Cotton Mathers literally say, "Oh, we can't stop this. Hang him. It's on court authorities." Worst fucking dude ever. and Reverend George Barrows is the fifth. After Gallus Gorey refused to cooperate with the court, he was pressed to death, pinned out in an open field with rocks piled upon his body until all life was crushed from him. This terrible punishment, probably illegal, was never used again in America. Good. Everyone thought, oh shit, this dude died under this kind of torture. Especially this kind of torture method. Rocks on top of ya. Okay, Gaius Corey was another victim. And before he took his last breath, he literally said, I cursed the sheriff to die a painful death. And after that, I cursed Salem to burn if somebody sees my spirit. And then he dies. He's buried outside of the cemetery, somewhere away from the cemetery. I just feel bad for the guy because, one, he literally protected his land from people taking it because it was his children's birthright. So he took several steps ahead before the others of, like, behind this Salem witch trial phenomena could ever take it from his family. A grisly end. Within a few months, the lust for witch prosecution in Salem was ebbing. A change in the judicial proceedings that meant spectral evidence was no longer accepted. Given the firm facts were in short supply, this effectively put an end to the sting of convictions. By May 1693, all prisoners awaiting trial already convicted of witchcraft were released. Judges and jurors alike were largely filled with remorse and made public apologies. The notable expectation was William Sultan, one of the driving forces in the campaign, who maintained that the village had been riddled with witches. He went on to become governor of Massachusetts. However, no fewer than 20 people had lost their lives during the witch fever, all through public execution. Further, 4 people died. 4 people died in jail. Petitions were foul. 2 unlucky dogs were executed as witches' accomplices. Any animal lovers out there who owns a dog? Or any pet owner? Give lots of love to, like, that family member. Pets are considered family. Like, literally. Right there. How terrible this happened. The terrible events that took place in Salem from 1692 to 1693 were the results of a small community riven with feuds. Suspicion and distrust were rife amongst the villagers, and the witch trials became an opportunity for them to settle long-standing scores. At the time, there was an unshakable belief in the existence of witches. The danger of Satan and his unfaithful croons were expanded weekly from the culprit to God-fearing congregation. Witchcraft was an issue often hotly debated amongst adults, particularly after Cotton Mather's book appeared, and it was a constant worry to many. But while Tituba, at the start, all of the troubles, ironically, having confessed her guilt, she walked free and ultimately sold on to another community. The effects of her storytelling there remain unknown. And that was the Salem witch trials. Sorry, I got heated throughout the whole thing of that. I'm a witch and a pagan, and hearing stories of like witch trials not only happening here in America, but also over in the United Kingdom, like England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. And then hearing what King James did, especially with Pendle Hill, for those who live in the United Kingdom, please visit there. I hear it's really, really creepy, but make sure to pay respect to the victims who died there. That's all I'm saying. Pay respects. All you need to do is like literally pay respects to the ones who were innocent, who were found guilty for crimes they didn't commit. Same thing happened in Germany, Denmark, all across the continents. Just make sure if there's anything that might, you know, cause trouble for not only witches, protect each other. That's all I care about. Literally, I do. Uh, right now, I have to go make something. Make sure my cat, as you can see right there, uh, that I get food in my stomach and make a very late dinner. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to stay notified. And if you want to show videos of mine to your friends, please do. Tell them to subscribe, and there will be more. Because I feel like stories from these two books is going to make it a lot more popular. I got these from Five Below. $5 each. But right now, by my spooky fiends, I love you. Yeah, I'm getting the whole thing done, and hopefully get some paranormal shit done for you guys. I might be doing a video for Regular Park for you guys. So keep an eye out for that.